Thank you. Well, good evening, fellow Toastmasters and our guests. I'm Bill Fountain, and I'm delighted to be able to share with you a little bit about my past. And I'm going to do it like I had a photo album. This is not much of a photo album, but as a photo album, I'm going to make little snapshots along the way, okay? The first thing is you may ask, why is this older guy getting involved in Toastmasters? Shouldn't he be on the golf course or with his feet propped up watching TV? Well, you know, that was my first thought when I came to North Carolina, was to do exactly that. But a passion entered me or invaded me, and it's almost like a dam where you open the spillway and your energies are gushing down the dam. Well, that's what I would felt like that my energies are going. And they're all right now focusing on running for the CMS school board. And I have to rein back some of those energies before my wife of 55 years and my 3 children and my 6 grandchildren. Now let's take the first page, look at the first photo, and that's me, Bill Fountain, as a young child born in Mississippi. My dad, after having served in WW2 and in Korea, decided to give up or leave the Mississippi Air National Guard and become a career Air Force officer. Well, what happens to us, our family, the family of my mom and dad and my younger brother and myself, we just start hopping from place to place, almost like a tumbleweed. And my sister was born in Germany, and I ended up going to 5 different high schools in 3 different countries, graduated in England, and you think about how hard it is to make friends or have any long-term friends in that short period of time. Okay, turn the page. As an aspiring to be a fighter pilot, I went to Mississippi State and joined the Air Force ROTC. When I was getting my private pilot's license, I finally found out something that I was reasonably good at, and that was flying. Graduating in math, the Air Force commissioned me as a 2nd lieutenant and then sent me to pilot training, where at the end of pilot training I selected the F-4 fighter jet, which happened to be the quickest way to get to Vietnam, to combat. Now en route there, I had to learn how to fly the F-4, and that's where I met my wife, and this was in Tucson, Arizona, and she gradually helped me find God, who I lost when I was in college. Well, in my Air Force career, we went to places like, I went to Vietnam, we went to England, we went to North Carolina, I went to Thailand, I went to Iceland, and we went to Virginia, and finally to the Pentagon, where I retired as Lieutenant Colonel. Even though I had 2 combat tours, flying about 260 combat missions, most of them in North Vietnam, and intercepting Soviet bombers in Iceland, I'm not any hero, because you think about it, that your firemen and your police, they face danger every day. Now, after that time in the Air Force, I had gained quite a bit of experience, and I was able to land a job at a large aerospace company in Maryland. And for the first time, our family had a place to stay. So we lived there for 20 years, which is amazing after hopping and skipping all over the place. Early in that, my boss offered me a leadership job where he gave me a program manager job where I ran 2 separate $100 million programs where I had profit and loss responsibility, which meant that if I did not make a profit and if I did not keep my customer happy, I would be on the streets. Well, fortunately, managing about 100 people and making cost and schedule and budgets, etc., and managing the programs, my customers and my vice president said, hey, great job for your team. So that was eased off of me. However, at the very beginning of this, I found out I had cancer. And I said, hey, wait a minute, I'm a runner. Runners don't get cancer. Well, I got cancer. And thanks to the prayers of my wife and family and the skilled doctors of Johns Hopkins, God cured me of the cancer, and it's been, and steered my life a little bit better. And I've been free of that for over 30 years, and also with more of a regular church work. Okay, after that, after we've already got our 2 kids are already out of college, we come to North Carolina, where we've decided to retire to North Carolina, where our oldest daughter lives. And so as soon as I got here, I got this passion. The good Lord said, hey, you need to be a school teacher, which is something I didn't want to do, but I went to UNCC, got my license, taught at a high school within CMS, teaching math for a semester, and then I taught at a Catholic high school for 9 years. And then COVID hit. And my wife and I talked about it, and I agreed, okay, it's time to retire a 3rd time. And then, what happens? As soon as I get retired, I start listening to the radio and watching TV, and I hear of all the problems that are going on with the Charlotte-Mecklenburg school system. For instance, of the poor performance and the safety issues, which spurred me to say, okay, you've got to do something. So I was particularly concerned about the people who couldn't afford alternative schools where I used to teach. So I've been speaking at the CMS school board persistently for almost 2 years. So closing my alma. You reflect back on that time when I was in my working jobs, in other words, in the Air Force and the Aerospace Company. I was focused on getting my kids through college, debt-free, and earning a living for my family. But now, coming to North Carolina, I don't know what it is about North Carolina, but all of a sudden I get this passion to help other people. It may be a retiree thing where as retirees, you come and give back to the community. So the only advice I want to give at the end of this is that you've got to watch out, for there may be a path out there that you least expect that you may be on. And that may take some ingenuity to be able to deal with that. So I want to thank you for paying attention to me and this little ad-lib thing. So you guys have a good day. Thank you.